welcome back to Perseverance Pastures. My name is Victoria. This morning I wanted to do an update on our kitchen garden. I'm pretty excited on where we're at with the progress. Of course, we're never as far as I want us to be, but we've had a few hiccups with other areas of our farm, so everything's been kind of delayed and pushed back project-wise, but we do have some updates on this area of our farm. So let's go ahead and step into the kitchen garden. Okay, for our first update, I went and I put in T-posts to mark out our perimeter fencing. These are spaced 20 feet apart. I will be adding another post every 10 feet, but they're gonna be wooden posts. And then where we come and have our bushes, unfortunately, we will be removing this hibiscus plant and putting it along this side of the fence, or the far side, because that's where the gate is going to go. I then went ahead, we ran out of T-posts, so I just had some flags, so we put them up. That way I can start really getting a good visual of the perimeter fencing. I haven't decided how exactly I want to design this part of the kitchen garden. I have a few ideas, but I just haven't settled on anything. But we have our perimeter fence marked out. And then, as you see, our green stalks probably look a little taller and a little straighter in this video. One weekend, I was really bothered by the fact that they looked sad and pitiful because they were leaning. This one was sunken in 2 inches into the ground. All of them had weeds just growing up and around them. I said, this is where I want to have them. I might as well just level them out and then get them on a little more stable ground. So I did. I have a video up on the patio pavers and getting them all established. And then overall update on the green stalks, you see they're dying back pretty aggressively, which is okay. I have had really good success with our lettuce. Cabbage is a whole, oh wow, there's a really cool spider on this cabbage leaf, I think. So the cabbage this year, as it is with me, and most of the time my favorite thing gets eaten up. Cabbage has not done well this year. There's just been so much predator pressure, which is okay, I suppose. I can admit defeat this year with the garden. Next year will be different when I have a lot more time to give to the garden. This year's garden was mostly just so I can be planting something and not completely miss out on a season of learning on growing things. But the green stalks overall did really well this year with the herbs. My herbs did better than I thought they would, especially after our move and sitting for about a week and a half, just being neglected. This is my Horehound. It's died back some, even though we haven't even gotten much of a frost. But I did plant some this fall, and it has grown so slowly. I'm curious if anyone else has grown Horehound before and their experience with it, because it just hasn't grown very well. Then we have the rest of the garden, which you may see that we have 2 completed beds, and I am so excited about this. Please excuse the mess of what is to be the next beds. I really need to clean it up, but just haven't gotten around to it. So yes, we finished 2 beds. It only took us way too long, but that's okay. We got the beds finished and they were empty. We had some dirt work done. Someone came out and he really loved our beds and took photos of them. And then he said, I have all this extra dirt. If you'd like, I can just fill your beds up. And I said, really? He said, yeah. I was like, okay, definitely feel free to do so, but don't feel obligated. I said, you could just, put them in a big pile. I don't mind doing it myself, filling up the beds. And he said, no, I have a mechanical wheelbarrow, so this will take no time at all. I was like, awesome. So he filled it up, and then he put the rest of the dirt in a pile next to the beds. So yeah, we have filled beds, and it's shifted kind of my plans for this fall. I think what I'm gonna do is go ahead and plant half of my garlic in this bed and then half of the garlic in this bed. I have already mulched just because I didn't want the soil to be bare for like the 3 weeks before I put something in them. So I'll probably have to pull back the mulch to kind of plant in the garlic, but that's okay. So that is very exciting and a huge step for our kitchen garden. Moving on to the in-ground garden, it did not do well. I did have for about 2 weeks some really beautiful cabbage coming in. However, the bugs and the pests just came and decimated it. I had some really beautiful beets coming up as well, but they just never took off. I also think this soil is just has too much of an imbalance. I probably should have added something to kind of help it out, but I didn't. I just kind of threw things in this year hoping it would do well, because I knew I couldn't give it a lot of attention, or as much attention as I prefer. And as well as, like, I just put cabbages in the ground and I didn't do any companion planting or like anything to help with potentially the pests. So the fact that everything got decimated, it tracks. So that's okay. As well as I do have this crisp mint lettuce doing still pretty well. And then I do have this Horehound right here, but it grows so slowly. I don't know if anyone else grows Horehound, but this was my first year of trying to grow it, and in the spring it was really slow to start growing, as well as it never really got all that big in the green stalks. And so when I planted it out here in the fall, I kind of thought, oh, it'll probably like have more room, it'll get more sun, so it will grow better. No, it's very slow. So I'm not for sure if anyone else has had that issue. I really want to grow Horehound well because I want to make candy out of it. I've read a few recipes of making like cough drops out of it and things like that, as well as if you eat Horehound, it has definitely like that medicinal taste. And so yes, I really want to grow it well. I'm going to do some research and figure out, you know, like the best soil type for it and what nutrients or what kind of like pH levels it prefers, and try to mimic that in some bed so I can grow it really well. So yeah, there's not much of a harvest this year from the in-ground bed at all, and the caterpillars and the bugs got really fat this year off of my garden, which I suppose is okay. For the rest of the kitchen garden update, there isn't a whole lot to show other than our beautiful pile of soil. We have this bed that is probably just going to get put into another raised bed. We still have plans of building 4 more raised beds this year. If not, it'll be early spring, and then filling them up. That way we'll have 6 raised beds to be growing in next year for our kitchen garden. Then we'll expand to the back area of the garden. Time flies, so that's why I also feel like this garden is not progressed as far as I wanted it to this year, because man, something pops up and it takes up the whole weekend, and we have to press pause on this. So it's not a problem. I'm so happy I was able to show what updates we have, and I appreciate you watching. So yeah, bye.